Today we are talking about what's in my Nikon ZF bag. Hi, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Fug, aka Phil, and let's start directly with the bag. And I feel like I'm kind of an old school guy nowadays because I have the feeling that most of the people don't use PeakDesign bags anymore. But for a certain amount of time, I think the past 2 or 3 years, they were quite popular on social media or on YouTube. Based on that popularity or also the recommendations, that's why I bought myself also a PeakDesign Sling bag. This is my everyday carry bag for my camera. And this is the 6-liter version. I have owned the 3-liter version before, but with the birth of my second daughter, I decided to upgrade to the 6-liter version simply because my Nikon ZF fits here perfectly into the bag. And as you can see, I have still a second compartment where I can basically fit in a second film camera or a lens. But I usually just fit in the snacks of my kids or the drinking bottles. That was my main reason why I updated to the 6-liter version. But if I'm not out with my kids, it's quite handy to have that extra space where I, as I said, can fit in a second camera body. Usually I put in my film camera, or if I get out and shoot some video for this channel, I also just put in my Osmo Pocket 3 into that compartment. That is quite handy. And the star of the show, of course, the Nikon ZF. As a regular viewer on this channel, it's nothing new to you. I own this camera since launch. I continue to use this camera, although I have a lot of cameras acquired in the past few years. But this one is the one I keep coming back to. And this is also the one which helps me to build this channel. Basically, the setup I use nowadays didn't change much after the unboxing, to be honest, because as you see, I'm currently paired the Nikon ZF with the 40mm retro style lens, and this is basically the combo I rock the most. If I want to have a slim, compact setup of the Nikon ZF with this lens, I also just leave that thumb grip from Smallrig off. I lately put on a thumb rest, glued it on my Nikon ZF. If you're interested, I will leave a link below in the description. I recently got it and I have to check how this works out for me. For now, I find it a little bit too sharp on the edges. I might have to take it off to round up the edges, but other than that, it feels quite nice here in the hands and improves the ergonomics a bit. But yeah, since I got the ZF in that kit with the 40mm f2 lens, nothing has changed much since I unboxed it, and I keep rocking this combo quite often during the week. The second lens I bought back then after this combo was the second retro style camera lens for the ZF, and that was the 28mm f2.8. But as you can see, I still have here the 40mm showing you into the lens. And the reason why is that 28mm, I don't have it anymore. I sold it simply because I didn't shoot that much of 28 on the Nikon ZF. And there are two reasons why. The first one is the latest lens I acquired for the Nikon ZF, and that's this 28mm to 75mm f2.8. It's a zoom lens. Some people say it's a rebranded camera lens. I personally don't care. After the research I found on YouTube, the image quality is good enough for me. And I'm quite happy with this lens. I just wanted to have a kind of a 24 to 70 lens f2.8 for the Nikon ZF, but the 24 to 70 2.8 S lens for the Z mount, although it's optically perfect, I didn't want to pay that premium price, to be honest. And paired with the Nikon ZF, The weight was also a factor which I was considering. And if I mount this on my Nikon ZF, it's already quite front heavy to hold. It's still usable, but when I use this lens on my Nikon ZF, I definitely have to use my Smallrig Grip. Otherwise, the camera gets too uncomfortable for me to use. But with the Smallrig Grip and also the new thumb support I have right now, it's quite okay to use this zoom lens on the Nikon ZF. Yeah, as I mentioned, I just wanted to have that zoom range from 24 to 70 ish zoom lens at 2.8, simply just to shoot my family and have something versatile in case my kids move fast around or anything like that. And for now, this is definitely something I'm quite happy with on my Nikon ZF. And that's basically also my family combo. If we have family meetups or meet friends with kids, this is something I really enjoy to shoot, simply because I have the zoom range to adjust accordingly. 28 is also something I personally find wide enough to shoot photos. And having now also the range of 70 or 75 is something quite nice for me, at least on the Nikon ZF. As I mentioned, the reason why I went with this 28 to 75 millimeter 2.8 is besides of the weight, of course, also the price compared to the 24 to 70 S lens from Nikon. I paid this thanks to my local camera store in Sling, Fotoprofi. I paid, I think it was between 600 and 650 bucks. And I think the 24 to 70 2.8 Z lens runs around 1,800 up to 2,000. So for my use case, this lens is just more than good enough. And I'm quite happy with the image quality. These two lenses basically complete my autofocus setup on my Nikon ZF. Both of them are native from Nikon. Yeah, I would have also considered the Tamron 28 to 75, to be honest. The offer from my local camera store, this one was just cheaper. And that's the reason why I got this. Otherwise, I might have also got the Tamron one. But as I said, these two lenses are my autofocus lenses. And now let's just quickly move on to my manual focus lenses. And if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you know that I also shoot the Leica M system. Therefore, I also have manual glass for my Leica M bodies. And to adapt them, I recently got this quite expensive Voigtlander Z to M adapter. Yeah, as the name already implies, this adapter is from Voigtlander. I got this based on the recommendation from Semra Street Life, simply because I also had a cheaper, more affordable adapter for the Nikon ZF. And my problem with that, similar to what he discovered, is that when you focus your M lens on that kind of adapter or cheaper adapter to infinity, it was focusing beyond infinity. This adapter does not have this issue, and you also might see why. It's quite slim, and it also offers you to adjust close focusing. So you see this ring extends this a little bit, which allows you to adjust the focusing. This lens is unfortunately not cheap. Retail price is around 300 euros. It's basically a commitment for your Nikon ZF or Nikon Z system. But if you have Leica glass or M mount glass, you might consider this adapter in case you have also adapters which don't focus correctly at infinity. And that was in my case the case. Therefore, I didn't want to try more adapters and spend more money on. I chose to just dive into this Voigtlander adapter. With this, I have the second reason why I sold my Nikon 28 2.8 retro style lens, and that's this lens, the Firepock 28mm 1.4 manual focus lens. for my Leica M system adapted on the Nikon ZF, and this combo does give quite a nice image quality. I haven't shot this combo on the streets yet since I recently got this adapter, but I will share you some sample images I took with this lens combo. And yeah, this just gives you quite a nice manual retro design feeling, to be honest. You have this aperture ring in front of the lens. It clicks quite nicely. You have your focus ring and of course the control dials of the Nikon ZF. And this is definitely also quite a relatively heavy combo because of the weight of the adapter and the lens, but it's with the grip it's quite still manageable to have a relatively ergonomic feeling. And the second lens I currently use on my Nikon ZF is the following one, which a lot of you have recommended me in my past videos, and I finally got a good deal on this one, and that's the Vogtländer 40mm 1.2, also adapted on the mentioned Vogtländer adapter. I just find this combo very beautiful. This 40mm 1.2 Nocturne lens just looks incredible on the ZF in my opinion. As I mentioned, the adapter I recently got, so I didn't have a chance to shoot this combo on the streets yet also, but I will also leave you some sample images. But just again, from the feeling and the tactile experience, thanks to the aperture ring, manual focusing and the control dials on the Nikon ZF, this just feels incredible to have a slower pace shooting experience, which reminds you of the old film vintage cameras. Just an honorable mention regarding another lens I use for the Nikon ZF, which is not included in my kit daily because that's just a setup I use at home, and that's this Nikon F2Z adapter paired with this 105mm 2.8 macro lens, vintage lens. As you see, I have here a tube attached to this lens, and this is the setup I basically run when I scan my film with the Nikon ZF. I got this specific lens just to scan my films because it's a macro lens. It allows me to do that, and this is just a Valois film scan setup. It's called the Valois Easy 35. I'm quite happy with this easy setup to scan my film, and I use my Nikon ZF to do that. But as I mentioned, this is not something I run around or put into my bag. But since we are talking about my Nikon ZF kit, I thought I will just quickly mention that. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, that's basically what I have for the Nikon ZF and use lately. As I mentioned, this combo, the Nikon ZF with the 40mm f2 lens, is my, you can say my daily combo for the Nikon ZF. If I want that manual focusing or retro design slow paced experience, I paired with one of these lenses, the Thypog 28 1.4 or the lately acquired Nocturne 40mm 1.2. And if I have any kind of family gathering or visits from friends with kids and so on, I just throw on this 28 to 75 2.8 lens on it. And that's basically my Nikon ZF kit. If you are still watching until this point, thank you very much for your time watching. You are the one who deserves the like for that. If you own the Nikon ZF, write down below which lenses do you use on your ZF. If you also want to check out my daily photography, you can check out my Instagram, which I lately try to post daily. If you want to support my small little channel, just check the affiliate links below in the description, or buy me a coffee, link also in the description. And if you want to find out how I set up a DSLR to get a manual focus experience, just click on this one.